Thank you so much and welcome. I'm really happy to be with you today. So this is going to be a series on visualization. And the point of those visualizations are really about growing your inner power. And I'm very excited to share with you about that. This is based on the training that I've been doing on positive intelligence. It's an amazing program, coaching program, really doing a lot of work on working on reprogramming, really reframing completely the way the brain works, and that's absolutely amazing and extremely powerful. And so today I'm going to be focusing on visualizations, which are just one little part of the program. And the whole point is to enable to access your intuition and your sage, which is who you really are, your essence, who you truly are. So I'll explain how this can help you on a daily basis to actually become the highest version of yourself. So you can find some links. I've just popped in the chat the links for the two other parts of the event. So today the focus is going to be on Empathise power, and the second event is on Navigate power, and the third event is on the Explore power. So you've got the links if you want to register. So a little word about myself before we jump in. For some of those who might not know me, have not seen me before. So I'm a certified coach, and my area of expertise, the majority of the clients I work with are women with the calling to help others. And I help them create the life and business they are craving for and become a therapist, a coach, a teacher, a wellness professional. And I help them to work on the mindset and the inner balance, which is one of the aspects that we're going to see tonight, getting clarity on their needs and their goals, create an amazing vision, a roadmap, and a strategy to actually reach those goals and thrive in their business. Quick word about me and my background. I'm from France. My initial career was in teaching languages, and I traveled the world for 5 years. So I'm an expat at heart. Coming to you tonight from the UK, where I live. And after I've done that first career in teaching, then I created a first business, a bilingual nursery in France. And I started doing some deep work on myself and personal development and transition to coaching. And I'm really, really blessed today to be able to do that and share my experience tonight of my personal experience and also coaching others. And yeah, so let's start on visualizations. Don't hesitate to ask your questions at the end. We're going to have a long Q&A sessions. So I'm going to talk to you about the power of visualization, and then we'll go into a short visualization demo to give you a short taste of maybe what it could do to you. So I wanted to start by this quote by Albert Einstein, actually, that I think really explains and sort of embodies what happens in the brain. And he says that the intuitive mind is a sacred gift and the rational mind is a faithful servant, and that we have created a society that honors the servant and has forgotten the gift. So I like quotes by Einstein because we realize, as you know, he's been a genius, and he's achieved so much that if he talks about intuition, you know, of course it's something quite serious. It's coming from his experience as a scientist, and I like what he's saying because he's actually emphasizing on the fact that we are focusing a lot on the rational, logical, left side of the brain. If we want to summarize, in neuroscience, of course, it's a lot more complex, and I am no expert to talk about this, but we could say that the rational, logical side of the brain is more on the left side. Yeah, and the fact that we're focusing too much on that, that is through science, maybe about school and about hard skills and things like that, is actually when creating an ill balance in the brain. So the brain is very much focused, and all the attention is put on the left part that is very developed, and the right part, which is more the creative, the intuitive part of the brain, is not so much worked on. So there's an ill balance that ultimately creates a sabotage and creates, for example, an inner critic, very negative sort of patterns and modalities of emotional systems that is taking energy away from you. and not enabling you to be and to thrive in the positive. And we are all born with unique personalities and qualities. We tend to actually to respond to life's challenges, to sometimes overuse those strengths that we have by using too much of the left side of the brain. And we develop saboteurs that live on that side of the brain. So there'll be a lot more to say about this topic. There's been different talks and chats you can check on my YouTube channel if you're interested to know more. This has been developed again by the program of Positive Intelligence. That's absolutely amazing, created by Shazad Shameen, who's an amazing coach. And so this program really enables to deprogram the old beliefs, the old system, and reprogram something that's a lot more balanced to help you to thrive, creating that balance on the right side and the left side. And as Einstein said, that actually creates a brain and a mind that serves you. So in Positive Intelligence, so we've been working on that learning and relearning. So in Positive Intelligence, it is articulated around 3 principles, 3 core muscles that we work to actually build a strong mental fitness. So those 3 core muscles are the saboteur-interceptor muscle. So basically it's about becoming aware of the sabotage, becoming aware of what's happening internally. And the main saboteur is called the judge. The judge is also called in different modalities the inner critic, right? So the critic that's constantly, the voice in your head that's constantly criticizing and finding faults. And he works alongside accomplice saboteurs. And those saboteurs are different depending on your personality of who you are. So that's the first muscle. It's the saboteur-interceptor, so becoming aware. The second muscle is the self-command muscle. So the self-command muscle is about commanding your attention, training your brain to change the system. And rather than being in automatic sabotage, to activate the right side of your brain and to rebalance the way your brain works. And the third muscle, which is here in number 2, but I've chosen to talk to it about in the third position here, because this is what we're going to focus on more today, is the sage muscle. So the sage muscle is about actually creating a new programming, building a positive and creative perspective to create a baseline of happiness in your life. So there is a lot more to it, but today this is what we focus on by talking on visualization. So how to build your sage, how to create a different programming that creates a new modality for you. So how does that work? So I really love this quote by Henry Ford, who also was an amazing, very successful entrepreneur and businessman. Whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. So we can call that as well sort of a self-fulfilling prophecy. And that shows us the importance of our belief systems, right? Of what we believe to be true and what we tell ourselves internally. And this is very interesting because actually, usually when we're negative thinking, when we're in the sabotage, when the saboteurs are interfering with us, that creates a tunnel vision, and the tunnel vision limits our perception and our reality so that we can only see what is wrong. We could also say it's like wearing colored glasses, right? You can only see through this filter and usually in negativity. And that makes you focus on also on that and maybe see more and more of what is wrong, rather than maybe seeing the solution that can be maybe just standing in front of you. But as you're focusing on the negative, it's really limiting your perception of the reality, and limiting also, of course, your happiness, creating more and more stress, more and more anxiety, and you can't. And you sometimes can't find the way out of that to actually finding a solution. So the analogy that I like for that is actually the analogy of surfing. So instead of maybe blaming the waves of the ocean that are going to come and go, you know, as we know, and I know that the waves that we've been facing those past years have been really big, and we've been challenged by that. But they're also an invitation to maybe, instead of blaming the waves, to start learning to surf and grow your resilience, grow your inner power, and do whatever you can to actually being able to handle those challenges better and better. So I like this quote that says, "You cannot stop the waves, but you can learn to surf." And making progress, I know that as well for some people, also it can be a bit frustrating to having the impression of making very slow progress and not being more resilient, or not enough, or not as much as we would like to be. But it's also very important to accept also this process of being able to, like when you go to the gym, being able at first to lift some light sort of dumbbells, and gradually go to heavier and heavier weights. So the point of the visualization is to be able to access who you truly are by accessing also the right part of your brain. So we want also to quiet down also the left part of the brain that we are really, really commonly using most of our time. Usually when we work, for example, and when we're at school and studying, we use a lot this left part of the brain, rationalizing, thinking, organizing things, etc. While we have not learned so much via school and via culture to use the right parts of the brain, to use this creativity, this passion, this solution-driven and intuition part of the brain. So with the visualization, we are actually training and growing the muscle of that right side of the brain, and the access to that, which is ultimately who we truly are. And I wanted to share with you at this point a little story, the Golden Buddha story. So I don't know if you've heard this story before, but that enables me as well to illustrate what I mean about that, about knowing who you truly are and accessing this true essence inside of you. So in 1957, there was a monastery in Thailand that was being relocated by a group of monks. So they were moving a lot of things, a lot of sculptures and everyday, and a lot of things to move the monastery to another location. And one day they were moving this giant clay Buddha, a Buddha made of clay, very heavy, very, very huge sort of a sculpture. And one of the monks noticed actually a large crack in the clay because they were moving the sculpture, and they started to look at that, and on a closer investigation, he actually saw like a golden light emanating from the crack. So he was like, "What's that?" So they really had a closer look, and very closely they started using a hammer and a chisel to sort of chip away the clay to see. And what they are revealed by doing that is actually inside that cover of clay there was a statue of solid gold, an entire Buddha of gold. And they've discovered that they've done some research, and they've discovered that actually the statue was probably thought to be built very early on in 1,400 years, and revered by Buddhists for many years. And in 1757 of this age, there was an attack by the Burmese army that was invading Thailand, and they were burning everything to the ground wherever they were going. They were stealing, of course, the gold, and they were burning everything to the ground. So the Buddhists of that monastery actually hastily began covering the golden Buddha with clay to protect it from the invaders, because it was sacred for them, and they actually left it there hidden from the invading army, who killed everyone. So all the monks could not testify from that because they were just killed by the army invasion. So the Golden Buddha was left undiscovered. And now it's worth more than 25 million in gold. It weighs 5.5 tons. So it's a huge Buddha. And so it's an amazing analogy for actually what is underneath our own clay cover, you know, and what lies and what's so heavy and so big and so precious and so close to us that we are not accesses because of this layer of clay. And we could do this parallel with we talk about the saboteurs, but we can also talk about the ego. This is a similar idea. And those layers of clay get started to be put into place very early on in life. And this is a natural way the brain develops, actually, when we are focusing too much on the left side. And the fact of working on the right side actually helps to recreate that balance and to chip away to bit by bit this layer of clay to access your true essence. And when you are accessing more and more, you find more meaning in your life, more happiness, more performance, more productivity. The connections there have been proven scientifically. So I thought that it was a great story to illustrate that. To be on this path, to reveal more and more your inner golden Buddha, also by quieting your saboteurs, commanding your mind, training to see more positivity. So that was my little introduction. So we're going to move on to a short visualization, which was going to be a little taster for you, because we don't have time to concentrate the event only on the visualization. But I wanted to do a short version so that you have also some experience of it. And we're going to start the visualization by doing mental fitness reps. And what the mental fitness reps do, actually, they've been proven that by scans and MRIs, that they activate the right side of the brain. So the more you focus your attention by putting your attention on body sensations, the more you activate this right side of the brain, and the more then you can access gradually this true essence, this true personality, that you were born exactly like that, actually, and so that really trains your mind to stop the sabotage and to build on a different response, a different programming. So what we're going to do with this visualization is going to be more specifically on the Empathise powers, as I mentioned at the beginning. So this is the first power that we focus on in the Positive Intelligence program, because the first thing that you heal is actually this relationship with the judge. So the judge, as we said, is focusing on whatever is wrong. So that means what is wrong with me, what is wrong with others, and what is wrong with the world. The different ways that we judge negatively things around us. And so to start healing this relationship with yourself, with others, and with the world, the first stop is to access some love and to build more and more and to refresh some unconditional love. To really build on the belief, replacing the limiting beliefs that I am not good enough, I don't have what it takes, etc., by a more nourishing belief that you deserve it, that you deserve the love, the unconditional love, because of what you are, not because of what you do, not because of what you achieve, not for the when you will get this and this, but exactly as you were born, right? So we're gonna, as I said, we're gonna start with some reps. So the reps are just some little focus on your body sensation. So that is to take you really to activate really deeply the right side of the brain, so that you can get some benefits and some access to your true essence during the visualization. And it's going to be so about reconnecting to your childhood, right? So what I wanted to tell you also is that some of you may have also some bad memories maybe about childhood, and that might bring some traumatic issues also. So the way to do this exercise, if that's the case, is to bring up happy memories about your childhood. And if you don't have happy memories coming to you, you just make some up, make one up, make an happy memory up, right? Because in this particular exercise, we're not focusing about others or about the situation, but we are focusing on you and who you are, who you were when you were a small child. Yeah. So it's important to take that into account. Yeah, to be very gentle with yourself. So how are we doing? Are we ready? We ready to start the visualization? Excellent. That is brilliant. So I'm going to turn my camera off so I can close my eyes and I can guide you through. You can do so or just close your eyes. So don't worry, you won't be on the recording in whichever case. Excellent. So you can start by taking a moment to notice the weight of your body on your seat and pay attention to the whole of your body. Connect to your body, be aware of your body in that space, in the room where you are sitting. Feel the weight of your body on your seat. Feel the weight of your feet on the floor, where your feet connect to the floor. Now put all your attention on your toes. See if you can find your big toe, second toe. Wiggle your toes if you need to. Third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe. Take all the time to wiggle your toes, bringing all your attention to this part of your body. By simply focusing on your body sensation, you're activating the right side of your brain. That's excellent. Now bring back your attention to your feet, the weight of your feet on the floor. See if you can feel in great detail the sole of your floor, of your feet, your heel. See, maybe feel where it feels heavier. Becoming aware of all the sensation. They are all welcome. Now I want you to very gently become aware of your sound, the sounds around you. Becoming aware of the farthest sound maybe you can hear, the farthest sound away from you. Maybe coming from outside the room. Just pay attention in very great detail in what you can hear. What can you hear right now? What kind of background noise do you have in your environment? Now pay attention to nearest sounds that maybe you can hear. Maybe the sound of my voice, maybe other sounds that are near to you. And take a few breaths and hear the sound of your own breathing. Keeping your attention on your breathing, feel the rising and falling of your chest or stomach with each breath. Just following the natural rhythm of your breath, noticing the natural rising and falling of your chest and stomach. Notice the temperature of hair as it enters your nostrils, and the temperature of hair as it exits your nostrils. Excellent. So in this deep state, relax and calm, I'm going to invite you now to visualize yourself. Visualize yourself in a scene where you're bringing deep, unconditional love to somebody other than yourself. So it can be a child, maybe a loved one, maybe a pet. Just bring to mind a scene that connects you to deep, unconditional love. So just become aware and observe what comes to you. Is it holding a child? Is it holding a loved one? Is it being in a pet with a pet? And just connect to all those beautiful sensations, feeling the unconditional love, being in the scene. And being aware of all your body sensation, experiencing this unconditional love. Notice how feeling this love is showing up in your body. Can you feel some sensations in your head and face? In your chest or stomach? Are you breathing differently? How is it showing up in your body? Just notice and feel it. Well done, perfect. And now you're going to visualize yourself in a scene as a happy child. So imagine yourself as a child in a happy setting. So you can bring back a happy memory or just make up a happy memory. So it's like watching a film on a screen. You're just watching your true original self. And notice the setting. Just notice what comes to you. It might be very clear, it might be very blurry. Just welcome what is presenting to you. Just notice the setting. Are you indoors? Are you outdoors? Is there anybody else present in the scene? If there are other people present in the scene, just focus on yourself and bring all your attention to observing this child, this beautiful child. Noticing yourself in the scene. Observe your personality, your innocence. Watch how you radiate, how you are perfect and unique. Now come a little closer and notice the expression of the face, of the hair, the expression of the eyes. Just watch with fascination this amazing, perfect being. Notice how you're moving your arms and your hands, your posture, your attitude. Just watching this perfect, innocent, and true being. Amazing. And as you're watching this child, just let come to you some words to describe yourself as a child in this scene. What words come to you to describe yourself as a child in the scene? Just take all the time you need to let the words come to you, connecting to your true essence. This is who you truly are, and you are worthy of unconditional self-love. Not because of anything you do, not because of anything you achieve, but just because you are. So we're going to gently let this image of the child fade away. Very gently fade away. And reconnect to your breathing. You're going to come back to focusing on your breathing and noticing the gentle rising and falling of your chest or stomach. So now you can take some deeper breaths. Take 3 deep breaths to help you come back to your body sensation, to come back to here and now in this room, hearing my voice. So I'm going to let you take all the time you need to wake up. You can take the time to stretch, move your arms and your feet very gently, and come back to the presentation and open your eyes whenever you are ready, being very, very gentle. Taking all the time you need. So this was a very short version of the visualization. There are different versions. They are more advanced. There's a lot more to explore. But I really wanted to share that with you, and I'm looking forward to having also your feedback and your experience and all your questions. Before we move on to Q&A. This is some of my contact details. If you'd like to book a free discovery session one-to-one with me, it would be a pleasure to get to know your situation more in depth, know your personal situation. And I'm going to put that link on the chat if that's something that you're interested in doing. And yes, we can close the recording for now and see if you want to share your experience and if you have any questions. Thank you so much.